Hi everyone, welcome all to the EDA Summit 2021. Myself Suresh, I'm the head of digital integration at Roche. I'm based in Switzerland. So in my role in Roche, I'm accountable for setting up the new age digital integration platforms, and also I'm accountable for project delivery and operations as well. Again, a warm welcome to all of you, wherever you are in the world. Morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all of you. So today I'm going to talk about the product mindset for APIs and events. So I'm going to give my view from a practitioner's point of view. Looking forward for the interaction. So before getting into the details, quickly about Roche. Roche is the world's largest biotech company, and we are a global pioneer in the personal healthcare. So over 58 billion Swiss franc sales in 2020, and primarily we operate in pharma and diagnostics, and we are the largest R&D investor in the healthcare space. And also we focus on improving the patients' lives, and we play a very key role in the fight against the pandemic, what we have now. A bit more about Roche IT. Currently, we are embarking a big IT transformation program, where it is a huge business transformation program enabled by IP using the S/4HANA ERP system, and also quite a lot of digital transformation happening across Roche. And in Roche, IT is a key enabler in the digital transformation. So we are implementing S/4HANA, which is a digital backbone in the whole process. And also the Roche business is diversifying into the personalized healthcare, and also there's a lot of digital health solutions also being rolled out in the market. So considering all these factors, the digital transformation is a key enabler in the whole business process. Moving on. Looking at the agenda related to the product mindset. So first I'm going to talk about integration maturity journey and where the product mindset fits into the integration maturity journey, followed by about advantages about the product mindset for APIs and events, and product lifecycle and the product owner responsibilities, and how to implement the product ownership in the organization. So finally, the key takeaways. So let me quickly pick up the integration maturity journey. So starting from crawl, where there is no integration strategy, where it was point to point in many scenarios. I hope many organizations have moved from here. Then in the walk, about there's a recognized integration team is there. Some of the on-premise integration strategic technologies are set up, best practices are being implemented. I think many companies are transforming into run, where a formal integration competency center or a center for excellence in place. Integration strategy is fully there, and hybrid integration capabilities are set up. API-led and event-driven is already in place. The sprint is the one which is the highest level of maturity, where you have integration marketplace set up, all the APIs and events are published, and you have both centralized and decentralized capabilities are there, self-service capabilities are there. So that is where you can see the product mindset for APIs and events also gets a place in that sprint area. So it means that if you're in run or in the sprint, that is where you have to consider the product mindset implementation. But if you're already, or rather if you're not there in the run, it means that you have to get into the run phase first, then you have to think about implementing the product mindset. So this is in the highest level of maturity space where the product mindset finds a space. So let me quickly talk about the product mindset for APIs and events and why it is important. Taking a step back, so people talk about which is good, whether it is an API-led approach or an event-driven approach. So from a practitioner point of view in Roche, what we have done is We have implemented both approaches. So there are certain scenarios where API-led fits well, and there are certain scenarios event-driven fits well. So both goes hand in hand, and both need to coexist in the organization to achieve the best results. So API-led is for request reply and on-demand scenarios, and also for any technical transformation and orchestration. Also, it enables security and governance and data ownership of the exposed data. So event-driven, we can use it where it is a pub/sub or a fan out for distribution, and also wherever there's you need an assured delivery, which allows fast and slow applications to be integrated without impacting the customer experience. There also we can use event-driven. So it is based on the integration requirement. We need to do a proper solution design. Then we have to decide whether we should go for event-driven and API-led. And both need to coexist for the best results. Just an example in Roche, where both API-led and event-driven scenario coexist. The good example is master data systems, where the master data system is a smart publisher. It pushes the data whenever there's an update or change or delete happens to the SOLAS event broker. So from there, the consuming applications can tune in and subscribe to the required topic and get the information. And wherever the consumer is not a smart consumer, you can use the application integration layer or a middleware layer to mediate and if required any technical transformations and put into the consuming systems. If you look at the bottom, there are scenarios where a consuming application requires on-demand and request reply use cases. So those scenarios we use APIs via MuleSoft. So this is a good example where both API-led and event-driven scenario both coexist. And also, as I mentioned earlier, we are implementing S4HANA ERP system. And even in S4HANA, there's quite a lot of event or published out-of-the-box capabilities. So we are using the out-of-box capabilities from S4HANA, and quite a lot of event-driven scenarios we are using as part of the S4HANA implementation as well. About the benefits of the product approach. And we all know that for digital transformation, we need a pluggable digital assets, and both APIs and events are Lego blocks in a connected enterprise. And it is imperative that we need to manage both events and APIs as products. So let me take an example of a television, how a product owner of a television will think. So he will think about that, what is the latest feature? Should I go for a OLED? What is the next to OLED? Or should I introduce HDMI 2.1 features so that I can transfer my Dolby Atmos sound to the soundbar uncompressed? Then my next firmware upgrade, what are the inputs or what are the new features should I put in then my next firmware upgrade? So that's how a television product manager will think like. So similarly, API events also, the product manager should think from a different perspective and from a consumer centric, and what are the new features can be added. So the benefits are from an API and events products perspective. It will be an outcome based and it will be not siloed, and it will be consumer focused, and the consumer will have a better experience. You will have a lot of reuse because of the product approach. So that will be from the second reuse onwards. That's a huge savings in the cost as well as time. So it will result in the faster time to market. You'll be able to do the version management better, and you can do a phased approach also. And the overall impact analysis and the ownership, which will help in the better change management. And also who need to access what data, those kind of things will be controlled well, and there'll be enhanced security as well as a resilience. So it is advisable in your maturity journey, you have to reach treating APIs and events as a products. So let us look into the product lifecycle for APIs and events and what are the product owner responsibilities. So if you look at the life cycle, it starts from create, test, and after that publishing, managing the product, upgrading or retiring. So the product owner has to play a key role in each of the phases of the life cycle. So even before starting the design work, the product owner needs to be identified for both APIs and events. So some people have a thought that only APIs needs to be treated as products, but from a practitioner's perspective, I would recommend to treat both APIs and events both as a product. And the responsibilities of the product owner is the same for both APIs as well as events. So in the create, the product owner need to work together with the integration architect to envision the roadmap for both APIs or events. And he or she needs to provide inputs from a business perspective. And also he should help to design from a future consumer needs, not only from a project perspective. He or she should provide the input from a non-functional requirements perspective also, and also help defining the SLAs, for example, throttling, so on and so forth. So coming next phase about the test, the product owner is accountable for the overall test case preparation and also for the successful testing. And the product owner should be the one who should be signing off the testing as well. Coming to the next phase of the life cycle, publishing. So you need to have in your maturity journey an integration marketplace. If you want to be in the highest level, you need to have an integration marketplace where all the API and events, reusable assets should be published. And the product owner is the one who's responsible to create a right level of documentation in the business language. And it should be rightly tagged, and it should be rightly easily searchable and identifiable. And it should be properly published in the integration marketplace. So one more point I want to emphasize is in your maturity journey when you're implementing the product mindset, it is very important that you should have a proper integration marketplace, and it should be accessible to the whole enterprise, and it should be easily searchable, and the reusable assets like APIs and events, it should be easily searchable and identifiable. Coming to the next one, manage on usage and performance. The product owner is the one who should be approving the new request, who should be accessing what level of data. So those kind of things from a security perspective, the product owner should be the one who should be taking the lead in approving the request. And also they should evangelize within the whole organization, and they should promote the reuse. So that is where the real merit is. And he or she should revisit the roadmap, and also they should track the usage, and they should enhance appropriately. Say, for example, if the usage is so heavy, they should take a decision that whether should I upgrade my hardware, so on and so forth. And they are accountable, the product owner is accountable for the overall performance of APIs and events. Coming to the next one is on the upgrade and retiring. The product owner should take the complete accountability for the whole life cycle, and they should continuously take the feedback from the consumers. They should do the version upgrades accordingly. And more importantly, they should plan for the right level of communication. They should maintain multiple versions if required for the organization. And also, one other important thing is if the underlying data system is going to be decommissioned, they should plan for retirement, and they should agree with the consumers on the next steps. So we have to take care of all the phases in the life cycle, and the product owner need to play a key role in all phases of the life cycle. So now let us talk about how to implement in an organization the product ownership. The first one, we have to have develop an organizational standards for owning the integration products like API and events. So each organization is unique, so we cannot have a one-size-fits-all approach. Say, for example, if you're having a product approach for the applications, typically you have a product owner from the business and a product manager from IT. The more suitable thing is the API and events owner. The same application product manager can be the product owner for APIs and events. But it depends on the org structure and what suits well. You have to clearly define an organization standard. Who should be the API and event product owner? That is very critical. The second one is identifying the talents and creating a training plan. So it is not only sufficient that you need to have a product mindset, but there should be a proper training, and you have to reskill the people to be the product owner. And it is very important that you have to sustain the product ownership. You need to create a community of practice, and you should incentivize the product owners so that they love their APIs and events, and they promote the usage of APIs and events across the organization. The third one, we need to do marketing, both bottom up and top down. It is not only sufficient if you do a bottom up, even from a C-level executive, you need to have a top down enforcement as well. So you need to have something like a Jeff Bezos movement, like enforcing it. That really helps apart from marketing bottom up as well. The fourth one, we need to have a proper OCM process, organizational change management, for implementing this cultural mind shift to the product mindset. So it is really a big cultural shift which we need to have. And we also need to look at the resource challenges, whether you need additional budget or additional resources. So that is where you have to set up some of the organization standards perspective, what are the implications, and that OCM process should take care of that. So these are the 4 dimensions, but each, as I said, each organization is unique. You need to see, is there any other dimension also needs to be added? But these are the must-have 4 dimensions need to be looked into. Moving on to the key takeaways. Both APIs and events need to coexist, and my recommendation is both should be treated as products. It is not that one is good and one is bad. So based on the integration requirement, you have to identify which integration style, and accordingly, APIs and events both are applicable, and both should be treated as products, and both has merits if you treat it as a products. In case if you want to implement the product approach, you have to check where you are in the integration maturity journey. So if you are already in the later part of run or in the sprint part of the maturity journey, yes, that's the right time to implement. But if you're not even in the run, or if you're in the early part of the run, you need to address other priorities before looking at the product mindset. Number 3, you have to have right organization standards for the integration product ownership. It cannot be only from a bottom up, and this cultural mind shift, it needs a combination of both bottom up and a top down approach, and a reinforcement from the C-level executives as well. Thank you all for listening.